words and start this 3-day alumni lecture or talk series. So now I request our director, Professor Rahul Banerjee, to say a few words and to start this particular talk series. Sir.
Thank you, Professor Niyogi. A very warm welcome to this virtual event that we are all having here today, where we are celebrating 3 of our alumni. Squadron Leader Teja, Swathi, who comes from industry with a unique combination of qualifications, and Dr. Ayush, who is also into academics, thanks to the kind of research he has chosen to do and the career path he has taken. So while 3 of you represent the diversity that so beautifully defines the LNMIIT in your own respective ways, I'm very sure we all, whether we are faculty members, some of the staff colleagues, some students, and maybe some of fellow alumni who you may have known, you may have been junior to, you may have been senior to, are probably willing to listen to your experiences, the way you connect back with the institution. And we are all so very proud of you, what you have been doing, what an institute may have done beyond what you have built around your own life and career. We all would love to hear from you. Thank you so much, Professor Niyogi, to you, your team at Center for Wellness and Positive Health to take it forward and for this initiative to conceptualize it. I believe that we all keep connecting in more ways than one, but over to CWPH team for taking it forward, because we are all here today to listen to our illustrious alumni. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I request Naman to moderate the talk for today. Naman, please.
Thank you so much, Niyogi sir.
You may just read out their formal introduction.
Okay, sir. Perfect. So, first of all, good evening, everyone, and a very happy new year. I'm Naman Dhanotia. Yes. I'm Naman Dhanotia from the Y19 batch, and I welcome you all to this very special evening. Just a small request to all our participants to keep your microphone at mute and video off for a better experience. So let's start with our first speaker, Swathi Bhagav from Bio6 batch. She completed her bachelor's and received the Director's Gold Medal for the highest CGPA. She was a recipient of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship and pursued a double master's degree in Photonic Networks Engineering from Aston University, UK, and the St. Anna College of Advanced Studies, Pisa, Italy. She moved on from Europe to United States and pursued another master's degree in optics from University of Rochester, New York. She worked in the Vision Science Research Lab and Clinical Facility at the University of California, Berkeley, and San Francisco for 4 years. The lab uses adaptive optics systems to image the human retina in the cellular scale with a motive to track eye diseases and answer unsolved mysteries about the human eyes. And she has worked in other multinational companies too. She is currently pursuing her PhD from the College of Optics and Photonics at the University of Central Florida, US. So without wasting any time, I would like to request Swathi boss to kindly take over.
Hi Naman, thank you so much for your great introduction, and thank you Niyogi sir for your kind introduction. It's my pleasure and honor to be back here and speaking here in front of Director sir, and thank you to CWPH team for organizing this. Thanks to all the students, staff, and faculty who have joined here. Good evening, everyone. Wishing you all a very happy new year. And I'm very excited to be interacting with you all today and revisiting the great memories which I had and sharing how LNMIIT has contributed to my success. So as Naman pointed out, I worked in industry and research labs for more than 6 years, and I'm currently pursuing my PhD from College of Optics and Photonics, which is amongst one of the top optics programs in US. I'm working in the field of biomedical optics, and I'm excited for the innovations and novel work which I will accomplish through my PhD. And the main reason I'm back here is due to the seeds of research which were actually sown deep into my heart when I was there in LNMIIT. And I see my PhD work and the work which I will take after that as a way for me to give back to the society, and so that I can contribute for the betterment of this world. So in next 10 minutes or so, let me take you through my journey on how I got to this point and how LNMIIT and its world-class faculty and facilities have played a big important role in my success. So during the admission, choosing LNMIIT itself was a process, as it must have been for all of you. I had other options, including MNIT, but I got attracted towards LNMIIT when I visited its campus. I'm sure many of you might have also felt the same, that this campus has so many things to offer. I was instantly impressed by the well-equipped labs, the great infrastructure, the serene and peaceful environment, and rest is just history. I had no idea that these 4 years will become the best part of my life. And so I got constant guidance and motivation from the faculty that the institute had to offer. And it was their constant motivation, and that inspired me and my fellow classmates to think about the research being as one of the options when we graduate. And I still remember, like, there was Arun Pujari sir, he used to organize extra classes for us to discuss just the ongoing research problems, which also arose my interest. So apart from that, there is independent BTech research project under the guidance of faculty, which is being offered, and that make a big difference in my outlook. So my BTech project was under Tomar sir, and he was exceptional faculty and advisor. I learned the way how to approach a research problem and how to eventually come to its solution. And I also understood the importance of deadlines and time management while working on the BTech project. So I was in LNMIIT long back from 2006 to 2010. And at that time, there was one unique branch, namely CCE, Communication and Computer Engineering. And that uniqueness actually gave me exposure to both the subjects, computer science and electronics communication. And believe me or not, this combination has actually helped me a lot in my journey. So all the courses that were taught were really relevant, and they are still useful to me. And also the hands-on programming experience I got has helped me during my jobs, my internships, and my research projects. So I highly recommend everyone to definitely learn and get hands-on experience on any type of programming during your bachelor's degree, irrespective of like whatever branch you are in. And other than that, pay attention definitely to your courses, but also do your assignments religiously, because that's when you get to apply the concepts which you have learned during the course. Also, like extra reading from books and any sort of group discussion which you can do amongst yourself, it always helps. So if you can teach the concepts to your friends, that's like one of the best way to reaffirm your learning, you know. So so apart from technical knowledge which I gained in LNMIIT, equally important and useful were like the humanities and social science courses. As I remember, I took business, finance, soft skill and ethics course, which was taught by AP Singh sir, always with great enthusiasm. The psychology course from Rajbala ma'am, and also like the English courses from Dhariwal ma'am, they were also super useful. So as I look back to my journey, I see the faces of all my faculty members who have time and again given their guidance. So another thing was, which I loved a lot was, and which really helped me, was the lab environment. There were a lot of lab courses which were being offered in LNMIIT, and labs such as computers lab, they were always open. And then there were some other labs which had special equipment, and there was flexibility, and you could arrange extra time to go back to the lab and repeat your experiments, which was actually a big boon. The more you practice, the more pro you become. So I still remember my discussion with Deepak sir, Santosh sir in the labs, and they were gracious enough to explain the concepts and reuse the lab as needed. So LNMIIT also has very good selection of study material and resources in their library. I'm sure the trend has continued and the resources and facilities have only grown. I've spent many hours in library, and that has helped me a lot in understanding the new topics and enhancing my knowledge. Other than that, the sports center and the recreation center at that time provided many facilities like gym, sports equipment, musical instruments for overall development. And I continued my table tennis sport because of the facilities provided there, and also participated in inter-college competitions. I still remember Yogi sir always used to encourage us to do yoga, and sometimes we used to had classes not only in the classroom but also in the green grass. So in general, I used to do exercises and yoga regularly that used to keep any stress at the bay. Since past few years, I have been doing meditation as well, and all these activities have become very important in today's era because there's so much competition and stress. So they help you actually to improve your focus, your mental and physical health, and brings you a peace of mind and gives you a boost of energy to start your day. So I highly recommend including these in your everyday life. Other than that, there were various activities organized on campus to develop interpersonal skills. I used to participate in various competitions and events such as singing, anchoring, debate competitions. They provided a great platform to develop interpersonal skills and provided an opportunity to build up my confidence, reduce the stage fear, and develop public speaking skills. And then the important part for an institution is also the placement. So a unique opportunity which we got at that time was LNMIIT's collaboration with Ericsson. And I and many other students participated on campus training provided by Ericsson during our third year. And I would say that was really a unique program that provided an extra layer of training to us and helped in placement. So indeed, my first job in India was with Ericsson after I graduated, and I pursued masters after that industry experience. So a great thing about LNMIIT is the unique faculty who have great experience, who bring their great experience there. The faculty always encourage the students to apply at various institutions and take on research projects during summer internships. And I myself remember creating a list of places and faculties I was interested in. And then the professors actually helped me by guiding on where I should apply and allowed me to use their references and recommendations in the process. So during my third year in LNMIIT, I did my internship in CNR in Pisa, Italy, where we got the Best Paper Award for the work I did there. And again, the programming was very helpful in that internship work. I presented that work in Cape Town, South Africa, and I wouldn't have landed into that internship without the support of Gangopadhyay sir and Sanghi sir. And it was during that internship that I got exposure to working with photonics, and rest is just history because now I hold double masters in the same area in photonics and third masters in optics. And I worked in industry in these areas, and now I'm pursuing my PhD in the same field. So definitely landing into a right internship can change your path. It can affect your career. Furthermore, I was also encouraged to apply for many travel grants, and I got Microsoft Travel Grant Award to take care of my expenses during the conference travels. So again, applying for scholarships and grants is always helpful. And again, there was big role of seniors, juniors, my batchmates. When I was preparing for GRE and TOEFL, they happily shared the study material and were always happy to discuss not only the courses, but anything regarding life in general. So, yeah, I did, as I said, I did my master's from Europe. After that, I moved to US. And the zeal to continue my learning landed me into another master's from University of Rochester, which is again leader in that field. And after I did my master's, I worked in industry. I was constantly looking for opportunities in research, and I cannot stress enough that this seed of research came into me from LNMIIT. So I'm grateful to that, to the great faculty and fellow students I had at that time. And yeah, so I landed into research job in University of California in Berkeley after all my studies. And there I have been working with biomedical optics. I started working with this team where we were using adaptive optics, which is a technique used in astronomy actually. And we use those techniques to actually image the back of your eye, and we can actually track eye diseases and find out solutions to the eye diseases whose treatment is not even yet possible. So working on such great technology arose my interest, and that's why I started my own journey of going into the PhD, so that I can contribute myself into the field of medical science and give back to the society. So yeah, I mean, that's it. I'm open to any questions. In the end, I would like to finish with the quote by Muhammad Ali: "Even the greatest were once a beginner. Don't be afraid to take that first step." Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, boss. And your experience will really help me and all the other students present here. So now I would like to invite DVM Teja.
Just a minute. Swathi, just one question before we go to the next speaker. What I remember that, I had taken 3 courses for you, and all the 3 courses you did very well, means you got the A grade, and not only that, the highest marks. And I remember once I was taking a course on, I think it was, I just remember that it was the question paper was quite tough mostly, but you scored around 74 or 75 and the average was around 35. So I just want to ask you that how did you manage, because I have made this a compulsory lecture for the first year and the second year and the first year students. So how did you manage, how did you study so that you did so well? Can you just explain that?
Yeah, so one thing which I had clear in my mind was, first of all, to attend all the lectures, like irrespective of whatever subject is being taught, whether I like it or whether I don't like it, whether I'm expert in it or I'm not expert in it, I would go ahead and attend all the lectures. I had 100% attendance in like all the 4 years, okay? So which people would think is crazy, but it was like that. And the second thing was, once after I came back from the lectures to my hostel, the same day, it's very important that you actually go back and look into what you have learned the same day and make your own notes. And also during the class, I used to like make my own notes. And then when I'm back in the hostel, I used to refine those notes and make points of what I understood and what I don't understood. And the things which I didn't understood, I used to actually focus more on those. I used to get more books from library and also visit professors after classes and make sure that all my doubts were clear. And another thing I thought is very helpful is like teaching your fellow mates. Like if you teach your classmates, then that concept actually becomes more stronger with you and stays with you. So I think combining all of these really helped me excel in what I did.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, boss, once again. And now I would like to invite our second speaker, DVM Teja, from the Bio 7 batch. He is serving the nation in the rank of squadron leader in the Indian Air Force. He is about to complete 10 years of his short service commission and has been in various advanced aircraft and ground systems. He has completed his specialized tenure in remotely piloted aircraft in Rajasthan and signal intelligence in Punjab. Presently, he is performing his instructional tenure in Karnataka. Over to you, sir.
Okay, firstly, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Perfectly audible.
Okay, it's my humble opportunity that has been given by LNMIIT and especially the CWPH. I salute the director to encourage such events and invite alumni and build up such a network which will be strong year after year. I have a great gratitude to Dr. Niyogi sir and all the professors who have taught me there in LNMIT, where I had done my graduation from 2007 to 2011. It's been very interesting to listen to my senior Swathi Bhagav boss. She had elucidated the whole of the experience in a short span of time. I also may repeat the similar things, but I might have a different perspective about how I have pursued my graduation at LNMIIT. Starting with, I dedicate all my life and all the learnings to my father, who is not presently with our family. He is the one who has decided that I should be there at LNMIT because I, along with my father, went to the counseling session at NIT Warangal after the AIEEE 2007 results. One of the professor from NIT Warangal had just guided us, yes, this is a good institute where all the faculty are from IITs and renowned places in India and elsewhere. So, believing him, my father told, yes, we'll make a choice. So, he came along with me all to the place. And then he had in mind that if this place is not good, if it is like desert, and Rajasthan is very far from Andhra Pradesh or Hyderabad. So I never been away from home. Like I never experienced what is meant by homesickness. So my father was of the opinion that maybe if the institute is not good, we'll give away the seat. Don't worry about the money that we have paid in advance. But the first thing he has done is he had approached the faculty. Then I remember Professor Tomar sir was there at the reception desk. So the only degree that was offered was computers and communication engineering. So there was no other branch, and he guided us in a good way that you have made a right choice to join your child here. And thereafter, it's never been looking back. I've never looked back about what my education is and what I will be thereafter. So one thing I'll request or maybe suggest all the young Y21 batch students and others who are listening to this audio on video lecture is you should always be paying great respects to your parents and all the elders and your family members who give you guidance may not be in technology, but from their own life about how to pursue education and move ahead. So that way, we might be elsewhere in the world for various of our career prospects and be away from home, but we should always be connected to our roots. We may be from a village, town, or a city, but we always have to be connected to our roots. Uh, I have thoroughly enjoyed and relished the experience of graduation at LNMIIT. I also used to attend all the guest lectures which are being conducted by the university, because that enhanced my horizon and thinking into various domains, not pertaining to the only subjects that are taught. And I always remember that the university encouraged 24/7 library facilities for all the students, irrespective of gender discrimination. Whether it's a boy or a girl, they can be awake at night as well and utilize the facility. And there was also a local area network, which all of you might be experiencing, maybe through gaming or any LAN or anything. That is a different experience, because post faculty, everybody are connected together. And that is the only way to communicate and exchange thoughts, whether it's organized or unorganized. That way, one has to always look towards opening up their horizon and be open and listen to the elders, listen to your own peers, and also the seniors or the juniors. Before we speak, uh, we get to listen. Then our thoughts improvise and we are matured better. During the graduation, one other aspect which I always kept myself into is to participate into everything. I may not win, I may not be the first prize winner, I may be the last one, or I may be rejected, but to overcome the fear of failure always. Uh, First thing is for everybody who are in audience to walk up to the stage and talk, or maybe to address few others, is a great fear, because we always are doubtful whether we are accepted or not. So I always participated, whether it is Manoranjan, the technical or the cultural fest, or into sports. I should thank one of my senior who is Shravan from Y04. He was the one who pushed me come be awake, come to early morning runnings. So that way the running became a passion into me, and I might be one of the student from LNMIT who has done the complete marathon in Jaipur that was organized in 2010. So thereafter, I always thought, why not take sports and the education that is technology together? So I looked out to the opportunities, and LNMIT also encouraged the Indian Army to come over and address the students. So when I was in third year, that was the first address which I received from Indian Army, where they all address the gatherings and explain the opportunities there, where we can serve nation into different domains. However, I did not get selected. I had traveled all the way from Jaipur to Bangalore. I had given a 5 days interview, and then I had one backlog in one of the toughest subject I felt then. It's operating systems. So many of the students might feel there is a tough subject. They are not able to cope up, and they are not able to get the good grades. Maybe their pointer is 6.0 or maybe 8.5, not able to complete the topper. Never mind. Keep these things, and then always try to convert the weakness into the strength. It means I should always know what is my weakness. Where am I weak? That is where I can turn the whole picture. So when I was not selected into Indian Army, I realized that yes, they might have thought that I have not done well in one of the subjects. So in the next course, I had taken the course again, and the important thing is I had lost the cutoff by say zero point 0.3 marks. 0.3 marks is very small. But later on in a year's time, I did the course well, and I got good grades. And my mother again pushed me, why not try Indian Air Force? Why you have not got selected into Indian Army? Why not try Indian Air Force? By then, I had got selected into Mindtree, which was a campus placement. And to tell that my first interview was in TCS, where I have not got selected. I still remember I was wearing a coat, and along with one of my friend Adil, we were watching the notice board, like where is the name? As soon as there is no my name and his name was there, he asked, why don't you take off your coat and give it to me? So it's like the complete graduation is filled with emotions and a lot of learnings. So you will be ready when you are open. So the second Mindtree, I did clear it. But whereas they had given me the offer letter in November of 2011. So I joined there. By then, because my mom pushed me, why not try Indian Air Force? I tried it, and I got selected in Dehradun. That is one service selection board, Dehradun. It's a 5 days interview. So I encourage most of you to at least try once into any of the tri services. Now that the structure is completely getting merged, all the tri services may get merged by the time you finish your graduation in next 4 years. And there can be a phenomenal change in how the tri services are contributing to the nation. So once I got selected, uh, it's a different experience. I tried to convince the people at Mindtree that I now need to do a different thing, because one thing was there was a salary hike. Say Mindtree was offering 3.2, whereas Indian Air Force was offering 6. So it's a 100% hike at once in a once time. So I took the opportunity and joined on 9th of January 2012. Thereafter, the training is around for 18 months, 6 months that is there in Hyderabad, and 1 year in Bangalore. What they try to do is they inculcate the most important aspect that is required for a armed forces personnel. Now I have migrated from LNMIIT to the Indian Air Force because I'll narrate a little so that you can judge whether you also have some inclination towards that. So they teach something called survivability. We have to survive in any of the situation, whether it is there ahead of us or maybe that we are in. So survivability with the common sense that needs to be applied all the time. So all the education that we learn should be applied so that it's useful for a common man. We may be wherever in the world, but all education should be useful not only to us, but to great number of people. Or I should say, because we are studying in a university which has renowned faculty, we should be able to at least serve a million of people in our lifetime through what we have learned. We should be able to motivate or inspire or guide people in our way. For a student who is joining LNMIIT, you should maybe think in this manner. Whatever is your package, the life is going to offer us so many opportunities, and now the India is in such a phase, the economic is to grow exponential. So most of you will get rich, retire rich, and you would not think the number of bank accounts or the number of things that you might accumulate by the time you retire. So the life is so long, and you have to prioritize what do you want now. So is it only one job? Is it only one career? Or you need to do some master's, higher education? So you need to think. So one thing I always did at LNMIT was I used to sit back at the end of the day and write, what did I do this day? I should quote Swami Vivekananda, if you have not spoken to yourself at least once in a day, you have missed a great person in your life. It means what? There might be millions of people in the world, but you are the only one who can help you. Like the first hand and the last hand to help you is your own hand. So when the fist is closed, it's very strong and your thoughts are very vibrant. So in Indian Air Force, after the training, I was into remotely piloted aircraft, which is drones. Now the drones are very much there in marriages and all these things, but the drone which we have worked is pretty large. It's as big as an aircraft. It has all the sensors to collect the intelligence, do the surveillance reconnaissance of the adversary or maybe our own territory. Many applications, and everything that I have learned from school and the university had helped me, because when I have joined, there was only one branch, that is computers and communications. So I had the concept of both. At that time, 2007, when no other university in India was offering such a branch, LNMIT did, and that was very courageous, because that whole thing is now helping me stay ahead to many others who are still there at my seniority. So that one branch is making me get selected into many things. So the branch that has been offered by LNMIT was so great, and I still relish. I was fortunate enough to pick up that branch. So in drones, it's completely all utilization of what is taught in the class. So one thing I'll have to again underline is that I may not be the topper in the batch, and I might have scored very much average. I might have got zero or must have not done well in certain courses. But when it comes to application after graduation, we must be able to utilize all of it. I remember one of our professor telling that you must be able to find the solution as an engineer. You may not be readily solving the problem, but you should know where to refer and then find the solution. So I'll maybe quote one of the movies you all must watch, that is there on Netflix or Amazon Prime, which is Sundaram Maheshwari or something like that. There are two couples who get married, both of them are engineers. And that boy answers what an engineer is. He tells that an engineer never stops at finding a solution. It is a different feeling or an experience, unlike any other branch or career. So maybe you may do MBA, you may do many other things, but you will always be an engineer once you have joined this university. The second tenure was in Firozpur, specifically that was Punjab area. I was into signal intelligence. It is all about utilizing a lot of data about the adversary, and then actually make a lot of homework to fight a war and win a war. So armed forces make everybody an air warrior. So especially in Indian Air Force, it's most of the work is done during peacetime, and during wartime, all of it is utilized. So this branch was so special that it's like listening to what the adversary is speaking when he is in the aircraft. So all that principles of communication and computers, networking was utilized. We had to intercept, decode, understand, and then utilize for our purpose. Here I should tell that one must always like or maybe keep a copy of all the textbooks from school. If they have studied in CBSE, well and good, because it has a lot of basics like geography, then sciences and biology. All these things will help you in one or the other manner. So here geography and maps have helped us, because I have read out many names from the maps which I have never thought I will read out. So the tenure at Punjab was great. I got to move around all the countryside, maybe to the northeastern places and the upper side, that is Jammu, Kashmir, and the central parts of India. Indeed, we had utilized best of the technology that is available in the country to safeguard the nation. And one thing, there is difference between information and intelligence. If we are reading newspaper every day, it means what? It's a report. After everything has happened, after the event has happened, the report is being made. That is newspaper, it's information. And intelligence is what? Before it appears as news, you are aware that it is going to happen. So what is important is to be having and develop a situational awareness. Suppose you are in a place, what is around you? What can you identify, or what or can you judge that as per your perception? That is situational awareness. So the technology that is there now, and that will be there ahead in times to come, will be great with all the modern things that a human can think. So after around 7 years, I've been posted to Bangalore, that is Karnataka, as an instructor. Uh, I am one of the officers who would be training the fresh recruits into Indian Air Force. Now, around thousands of trainees come every 6 months. So we train them physically, we train them the basics. Most of them are 12th pass outs, and they opt to decide serve the nation in whichever way that is. So now the government also may think or implement a policy where all citizens have to mandatorily serve in one of the tri-services, maybe for 5 years or 7 years. So in times to come, if you get an opportunity, irrespective of the pay package, uh, if you can do something like that, it's an irreversible thing. Many things change. You gain a lot of respect, pride, and the way all your neighborhood and all people in the nation look at you and your family is completely different. I still feel my parents are very proud, and wherever they go, they have a happiness and smile on their face that yes, at least one from the family is serving the nation directly. Uh, Not only in Indian Air Force or anywhere, everybody serves the nation directly or indirectly. There is a difference between a leadership and a leadership in the armed forces. The leadership in armed forces, which is the military leadership, is like taking all your team to the war, win at whatever stake it is. One can lose life, or one can lose one of his team members, but you have to win, because you have to ultimately defend a complete nation, which is 130 or 40 crores of people. So I always believe that good people and educated ones with high emotional quotient should be in good positions. Good positions maybe in a place where you can make policies, you can govern the administration. So as an instructor, I may be speaking a lot, so I'm not noting the time, but I'd like to highlight one of the aspects which most of us do not realize when we are graduating is like we have to explore all that is there available. You have to keep talking to many people, listen to many people, and then make a choice where you actually suit the best. Uh, because we are in LNMIIT, it has been established by the great Lakshmi Nivas Mittal, who is called Ersalan Mittal. He is the richest, one of the richest persons in the world. So if you want to be rich, if you want to accumulate a lot of wealth, one thing that Lakshmi Nivas Mittal sir had done is he gave employment to so many people that despite accumulation, he is still distributing. It means what? We'll have to give away things before you get it. So whatever is your priority, whether being rich, whether to serve nation, whether you do programming, be masters or PhD or anything, you may do agriculture as well. You may do the management, MBA degrees, and be an entrepreneur, start up your own business. So you have to be open, and then be grateful to your parents and all the elders that have given you your opportunity to get educated and serve people in whichever form. I think I have exceeded my time. I'll thank once again Dr. Amit Niyogi sir, Dr. Rahul Banerjee sir, and all the faculty that have chosen me for a short period of time to address you people, especially Y21 who have joined now. I wish you all the very best, and I hand it over to Naman to give time to another speaker who is eagerly waiting.
Thank you so much, sir, and for sharing your valuable life experiences with us, and salute to you for your service. And now let's move on to our next speaker, Dr. Ayush Kumar from the Y10 batch. He is a senior member of technical staff at AT&T Labs and research assistant professor in the computer science department of Stony Brook University, New York, USA. He also holds a research fellow position at Harvard Medical School, USA, and he received his MS and PhD in computer science from Stony Brook University. He is working towards advancing the navigation services to people with visual impairment to increase their independence and improve quality of life through computer vision in collaboration with Harvard Medical School. In 2016, he was awarded a PhD fellowship of SFB TRR 161, and in 2018, he was awarded ICT CCP Research Excellence Award. So I would request Ayush sir to kindly take over and share your experiences with us.
Thanks, Naman. First of all, thank you so much, Niyogi sir. I remember, when Niyogi sir comes into picture, everyone remembers the sweets that Niyogi sir offers. मिठाइयाँ खानी हो, Niyogi sir के घर जाओ. And thank you, DVM sir, Swathi boss. Actually, आप लोगों ने बहुत कुछ बोल ही दिया है. So there is not much left to say what all LNMIIT has to offer on a broader sense. So मैं अपने छोटे छोटे किस्से सुनाऊंगा जो LNMIIT में हुआ मेरे साथ और and how that changed everything. And वो चीजें सिर्फ नियोगी सर ने पहले ही मेंशन किया था कि कैसे सीनियर्स ने हेल्प किया, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट कुछ ऐसी भी सिचुएशंस थी जिसमें एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने हेल्प किया, चाहे डायरेक्टर रहे हो उस टाइम के या फिर डीन ऑफ एकेडमिक अफेयर्स या फिर मुझे तो वो छोटे छोटे किस्से मैं सुनाऊंगा जिससे आपको लगे कि ये सारी बातें जो हो रही हैं वो ट्रू हैं. तो मैं स्टार्ट करूंगा फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगनिंग LNMIIT में, और मैं 2-3 दिन पहले स्वाति बॉस को बता रहा था कि शायद मेरी इनसे एक बार इंटरैक्शन हुई थी, और उस टाइम पे मैं भी आई डोंट नो वाई 21 में कितने लोग ऐसा सोचते होंगे कि मेरा IIT में नहीं हुआ. मैं बिल्कुल सेम सोचता था और दुखी भी था डेफिनेटली. और तेजा सर ने एक रेफरेंस भी दिया नेटफ्लिक्स का, तो मैं भी एक रेफरेंस दूंगा. कोटा फैक्ट्री सीजन 2 में जब जीतू भैया बोलते हैं एक पेरेंट को कि आपका बेटा दुखी है, इससे प्रॉब्लम की बात नहीं है, खुश होना चाहिए कि वो दुखी है क्योंकि उसे फर्क पड़ता है कि उसका नहीं हुआ. अब देखना आपको है कि उसके दुख को कैसे वो हैंडल करे और पॉजिटिव डायरेक्शन में ले जाए. तो एग्जैक्टली वही हुआ. एंड उसके बाद तो ऐसा हो गया था कि IIT में जाना ही जाना है, किसी तरह जाना है. तो मुझे अभी भी लिटरली याद नहीं है एग्जैक्टली वो सीनियर कौन थी. तो मैंने उनसे पूछा, आई थिंक स्वाति मैम थी या कोई या स्मृति गुप्ता, ये दोनों में से कोई. तो उन्होंने बोला कि मैंने बोला कि मुझे भी हायर स्टडीज के लिए जाना है, मुझे भी कुछ करना है. तो लेके ओके, तोमर सर बगल में खड़े थे, उन्होंने तोमर सर को डायरेक्ट किया. और ये मुझे बड़ा कोइंसिडेंस लग रहा है कि तीनों लोगों ने तोमर सर को ही रेफर किया सबसे पहले. एंड एक्चुअली मैं तोमर सर के पास गया एंड तोमर सर वाज लाइक, आई डोंट नो तोमर सर अभी है या नहीं कॉलेज में, ओके कम टू माय ऑफिस. ओके सर. फिर मैं तोमर सर के पास गया, यू वांट टू डू समथिंग, व्हाट्स योर ब्रांच, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एंड कम्युनिकेशन. अच्छा ये लो, एक पेपर पकड़ा दिया, सी व्हाट यू कैन डू. लिटरली मुझे कोई आइडिया नहीं था पेपर क्या होता है. फिर मैं दौड़ा गया किसके पास, Y07, क्योंकि उस समय Y07 क्यों, क्योंकि फर्स्ट ईयर और फोर्थ ईयर एक साथ रहते थे, BH2 या 1, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर, बट फर्स्ट ईयर फोर्थ ईयर इसलिए क्योंकि शायद ज्यादा इंटरेक्शन ना हो सेकेंड ईयर और फर्स्ट ईयर का. तो मैं दौड़ा कुछ सीनियर थे जिनको मैं देखता था, उसमें सीनियर थे दिव्यांशु पांडे सर. सो दैट वाज द फर्स्ट थिंग व्हेन आई केम टू LNMIIT. The way he used to speak, I was like, यार क्या कॉन्फिडेंस है. I came from a very small town in Bihar, और मेरी स्कूलिंग सैनिक स्कूल से हुई, बॉयज स्कूल. फिर मैं कोटा चला गया. तो ऐसा कुछ एकदम वो जो इंटरेक्शन होता उस टाइप का इंटरेक्शन कभी हुआ नहीं, और LNMIT में ये सारी चीजें न्यू थी। फिर दे सेड कि अच्छा कुछ सीनियर्स हैं Y07 में, तुम इनके पास चले जाओ, दे माइट हेल्प। फिर उनके साथ मैंने कुछ दिन काम किया, बहुत कुछ सीखने लगा। फिर मैंने उसमें कुछ चैलेंजेस आई, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे इन LNMIT में एक पर्टिकुलर चीज चाहिए था जो नहीं था, एंड आई वाज थैंकिंग राहुल सर कि नाउ LNMIT हैज चेंज्ड ऑन दोज एस्पेक्ट्स, एटलीस्ट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। तो मैंने बहुत गूगल किया ये सब, तो फाइंड आउट किया कि वो IIT बॉम्बे में है, वो चीज अवेलेबल है। तो मैंने तोमर सर को बोला कि आप मुझे IIT बॉम्बे भेजो। ही सेड व्हाई शुड आई सेंड यू, व्हाट हैव यू डन? लाइक ही इज राइट, व्हाई शुड ही सेंड मी? फिर मैं सीनियर्स के साथ गया। एनीवे सेकंड सेमेस्टर ओवर हुआ, मैं Y07 के बहुत क्लोज पहुंच चुका था। तो Y07 में एक सीनियर विनीत जाखेटिया सर के रूम में मैं बैठा हुआ था, वेकेशन लास्ट डे था, एग्जाम देके। तो लेकिन तू इंटर्नशिप करने जा, बाय दैट टाइम दे न्यू कि ये बंदा कुछ करने की कोशिश कर रहा है। सो दैट वाज द थिंग, एंड ही आस्क्ड तुझे इंटर्नशिप पे जाना है? आई वाज लाइक श्योर। तो लाइक ओके, तो लाइक बस हो गया? बोला हाँ, क्योंकि मैं तो देख ही रहा हूँ तुझे। बोले सही। मैं चला गया एक IIT में इंटर्नशिप करने, और ये भी था कि मुझे IIT जाना है, IIT जाना है। तो ओके, लेट इट बी द फर्स्ट स्टेप। मैं IIT गया, मुझे स्टाइपेंड नहीं मिले, बट इट्स परफेक्टली फाइन, either you should earn or you should learn. So I was going to learn, so that was not an issue. मैं वहां से आया, फिर मैंने वहां देखा, लोगों को देखा जो समर में रुके थे, और मुझे लगा LNMIT अच्छा है यार, काफी कुछ, बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें थी जो मुझे लगा कि शायद LNMIT में बेटर है। एक और उसके पीछे भी रीजन था कि क्राउड जो होता है LNMIT का, उस टाइम पे मतलब लिटरली बहुत अच्छे अच्छे लोग थे, हम मेरे बैच में भी, मेरे सीनियर बैच में भी। तो आई रियलाइज, मैं फिर से वहां गया, मैंने फर्स्ट पेपर लिखा उस इंटर्नशिप के बाद। फिर मैंने एक सेकंड पेपर लिखा, और वो उस टाइम पे 2 पेपर हमारे पब्लिश हुए कॉन्फ्रेंस में जो स्पेन में होने वाला था। सो एज आई सेड, आई कम फ्रॉम अ वेरी मॉडेस्ट फैमिली, अ स्मॉल टाउन। तो मुझे पता था मेरे पेरेंट्स से तो मैं 50,000 रुपए मांगने नहीं वाला रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए। तो क्या करना है, चलो भाई डायरेक्टर के पास जाओ। मैं डायरेक्टर के पास गया, उस समय शायद सुनी थॉमस मैम थी। मैम प्लीज 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 ये एप्लीकेशन फॉरवर्ड कर दो, हमें फंडिंग चाहिए रजिस्ट्रेशन के लिए। ये सेकेंड ईयर की बात है। ओके, तो स्पेन जाना है, क्या एक्सपेंसेस है? ओके, इतने अप्रूव्ड हो गए, मेरा वीजा रिजेक्ट हो गया। अब तो मुझे जो सारे कॉलेज से पैसे मिले हुए थे वो रिटर्न करने पड़ते। मैंने ऑलरेडी पैसे स्पेंड कर चुके थे रजिस्ट्रेशन में, एंड रजिस्ट्रेशन इज लाइक when you register for international conference, always $400-500, which is a lot for Indian people. तो उस समय शायद इसी के हेड थे तोमर सर या डीन थे, आई रियली डू नॉट रिमेम्बर उनका डेजिग्नेशन, बट मैं गया तो हुआ कि अब तो मुझे रिटर्न करना पड़ेगा। तो मैं गया तोमर सर के पास फिर से, क्योंकि ही हैड टू अप्रूव फर्स्ट बिफोर। तो मैंने कहा सर ऐसी ऐसी सिचुएशंस हैं, मैं पैसे कैसे रिटर्न करूं, मुझे घर से मंगाने पड़ेंगे, रजिस्ट्रेशन तो हो चुका है, एंड दे हैव अग्रीड कि मैं वर्चुअल टॉक दे दूं क्योंकि वीजा कैंसिल हो गया। ओके, कम नेक्स्ट डे। और फिर उन्होंने, मुझे आज भी याद है, ग्रीन पेन से एक सिग्नेचर किया, लेट दिस स्टूडेंट यूज द कॉलेज मनी फॉर द रजिस्ट्रेशन, लेट्स नॉट टेक द मनी बैक फ्रॉम हिम, एंड दैट वाज अ बिग, और दैट मोटिवेटेड मी, चलो और पेपर लिखते हैं, क्योंकि कॉलेज तो है सारे एक्सपेंसेस कवर करने के लिए। क्योंकि उससे पहले के एक्सपेंसेस एक माइक्रोसॉफ्ट ट्रेवल अवार्ड के थ्रू हुआ था, उस एक और जो पेपर था वो आईकास्ट में हम लोगों का पेपर था, तो वहां से ट्रेवल अवार्ड मिला था। तो उसने मुझे मोटिवेशन दिया, ओके ये मनी प्रॉब्लम तो सॉर्ट आउट हो गया, कि पेपर लिखते हैं, LNMIT विल कंट्रीब्यूट, और उसके बाद चीजें होती गई। फिर जब मैं, और इस तरह से मुझे लोग सपोर्ट करते गए। जब मैं थर्ड ईयर में आया तो मुझे एक इंटर्नशिप अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली मैसारिक यूनिवर्सिटी में, सेंटर ऑफ बायोमेडिकल एंड इमेज एनालिसिस, क्योंकि मेरा मोस्टली जो वर्क होता था, और एज अगेन आई सेड, Y07 में जो विनीत सर थे वो PhD के लिए जा रहे थे, तो उनके जो जूनियर थे सुनील जायसवाल, मैं उनके साथ लग लिया कि ये तो अब चले गए, ही वॉज गाइडिंग अस फ्रॉम देयर, बट यहाँ वो मेरे सीनियर जो मुझे गाइड करते रहे। और जब मैं सेकेंड और थर्ड ईयर में गया तो मैंने फर्स्ट ईयर से कुछ लोगों को गाइड करना स्टार्ट किया, जो इनिशियली 100 लोग होते थे, एक महीने बाद 20 हो जाते थे, और उसके बाद लास्ट में 5 और 6 बचते थे। और फिर उनके थ्रू मैं क्या कोशिश करता था कि जो भी इंडिया में जिन फैकल्टीज को मैं जानता था, IIT, IIIT, फिर मैं इनको रेकमेंड करता था कि ये अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स हैं, आप प्लीज ले लो, और उसमें से कुछ अभी PhD कर रहे हैं। So that is how my relation with juniors were. और यहाँ so that was a backing. फिर मैं गोरथी सर के टच में आया, फिर वहाँ रूल चेंज हुआ कि now if you are writing a paper there has to be a faculty from LNMIIT. अब मैं तो LNMIIT के उस टाइम पे फैकल्टी तिवारी सर थे IIT जोधपुर, उनके साथ काम करता था। फिर सर अब क्या करूं, तो लेके ओके, फिर मैं एक दो फैकल्टीज के बारे में गया और नो वन सेड नो कि हाँ चलो क्या करते हो, एक्सप्लेन करो, हम लोग कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं क्या। एंड देन स्टार्टेड अगेन। फिर उस टाइम पे मुझे एक फॉरेन इंटर्नशिप मिला, तो उस टाइम पे मैं क्लियर नहीं था, वो थोड़ा कॉम्पिटिटिव था, तो इंटर्नशिप में तो मैंने क्लियर कर लिया, लेकिन उसमें फिर फाइनेंशियल एड के लिए वहाँ के एम्बेसी, जो चेक एम्बेसी होती है, चेक और इंडियन एम्बेसी, उनके थ्रू वो स्कॉलरशिप मिलता था। तो देन फिर मैंने सोचा कि अगर नहीं हुआ तो गोरथी सर ने कहा कि ओके डोंट वरी, it's a very good opportunity, we'll sort out something, we'll see if we could support you from कुछ funds होते थे उस टाइम पे। तो मैंने कहा okay, but luckily I got that financial scholarship too, so I was not dependent on LNMIIT financial thing for that. लेकिन तब तक मैं DRDO के एक प्रोजेक्ट पे कोलैबोरेट कर रहा था, तो मैंने उनको बोला कि आप मुझे तो मैं तो काम कर ही रहा हूँ, आप मेरे यूनिवर्सिटी से और लोगों को ले जाओ। उन्होंने बोला ओके लेट्स सी। तो उसके लिए बहुत बार मुझे 3-4-5 बार LNMIIT से दिल्ली जाना होता था, और उस टाइम पे मुझे लगता है 250-300 की बस की टिकट्स होती है, तो एवरी ट्रिप मतलब 1500 का खर्चा। एंड बैचलर्स में फिर वहां पे रूल आया, ओके ऑल योर ट्रिप टू DRDO विल बी रीइंबर्स्ड। आई वाज लाइक वाओ। फिर हमारे कॉलेज से 2-3 लोग गए भी DRDO में इंटर्नशिप करने। फिर मुझे IIT जोधपुर में एक कॉन्फ्रेंस हो रहा था NCVPRIPG। उस टाइम पे मेरे पास पेपर नहीं था NCVPRIPG में सबमिट करने के लिए, बट मैं लिटरली वहां जाना चाहता था क्योंकि वे अनिल के जैन मिशिगन यूनिवर्सिटी से आने वाले थे, एंड ही इज अ बिग नेम, उनके 2 लाख से ऊपर साइटेशंस हैं। तो चूंकि पहले भी मैं रिसर्च वगैरह अटेंड कर चुका था, बट यहाँ मुझे लिटरली जाना था, और रजिस्ट्रेशन फी था करीब आई थिंक 15,000 रुपीज, और बाकी 4 दिन रहने वहने का। मैं फिर से गया कि मुझे यहाँ जाना है, क्या ऐसी फंडिंग है, एंड आई अगेन गॉट इट। तो व्हेनेवर मुझे बस मेहनत करना था, मेरे सीनियर गाइड करने थे, जो 2 चीजें जरूरी है, और फिर है मॉनेटरी कंपोनेंट जिसमें LNMIIT ने, क्योंकि आई कुड नॉट आस्क माय पेरेंट, दैट वाज वेरी क्लियर, क्योंकि मैं उन पे इतना प्रेशर नहीं डाल सकता था। तो LNMIIT, और एक जो सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग इवेंट हुआ, फ्रॉम देयर आई गॉट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी टू वर्क एट फिलिप्स रिसर्च लैब जस्ट आफ्टर माय बैचलर्स, which was a big thing after many rounds of interview, but there was a condition. उस टाइम पे मैं 8th semester just start कर रहा था after this conference of NCVPRIPG in December 2013. मैंने इंटरव्यू दिया और मुझे लगा नहीं था होगा, क्योंकि वो फिलिप्स रिसर्च लैब है, वहां लिटरली IIT खड़गपुर, IC बैंगलोर का वो गढ़ था, यू कैन से इट्स सेंटर, वहां IIT खड़गपुर और IC बैंगलोर वाले ही सब थे। और जो मेरे मैनेजर थे, उन्होंने बोला कि मैं एक रिस्क लेना चाहता था कि इन दोनों के अलावा, एंड दैट अगेन अ वेरी लॉन्ग स्टोरी। फिर हम कहाँ मिले बाद में, हम कोरिया में मिले, फिर US में मिले उन मैनेजर से, ही लेफ्ट फिलिप्स रिसर्च लैब, बट एनीवे। तो उस टाइम पे 4th ईयर लास्ट सेमेस्टर में ये BTP वाला सीन नहीं था, और हमारे 4 कोर्सेज होते थे। अब तो शायद सेमेस्टर में लोग इंटर्नशिप के लिए जाते हैं, इट इज अप्रूव फ्रॉम यूनिवर्सिटी। उस टाइम पे ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था। आई हैड 4 कोर्सेज, और जब मेरा हुआ आई वाज लाइक, लेकिन मैं करूं क्या इसका, क्योंकि मेरे को 4 कोर्सेज बाकी हैं। फिर मैं उनका नाम भूल रहा हूँ, वो बैठते हैं उसमें एकेडमिक्स में, अजित राउत सर के बगल में, वो ये सब चीजें रजिस्ट्रार थे उस टाइम पे, मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है। तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि ये सब पॉसिबिलिटीज हैं क्या, बोले कि एक बार जाकर बात करो तुम। बोला ओके। फिर मैंने फिर से एप्लीकेशन लिखा, डायरेक्टर के पास गया, मैंने कहा कि सर आप तो, और डायरेक्टर सर से मिलने के लिए क्या होता था, पहले सुनी थॉमस मैम है, उनके थ्रू जाना पड़ता था, तो वो जान जाती थी। द मोमेंट आई एंटर, अब क्या आए हो, कि मैम डायरेक्टर से मिलना है, डायरेक्टर से, ओके भेजो। तो उन्होंने कहा सर ऐसी सिचुएशन है, इट्स अ वंस अ लाइफ टाइम अपॉर्चुनिटी, जस्ट बैचलर्स के बाद मुझे फिलिप्स रिसर्च लैब में काम करने का मौका मिल रहा है, एंड आफ्टर माय डिग्री गेट्स ओवर वो लोग मुझे फुल टाइम जॉब भी देंगे। बोले कि लेकिन 4 कोर्सेज। मैंने बोला कि सर आप प्लीज कुछ कर लो, मैं एग्जाम दे लूंगा, मैं बस क्लासेस अटेंड नहीं करूंगा। और कि देखो ये मेरे हाथ में नहीं है, बिकॉज दिस इज एकेडमिक काउंसिल डिसाइड करेगी। मैंने बोला कि आप सर आपको प्रॉब्लम है क्या? बोले कि मेरे प्रॉब्लम होने ना होने से कुछ नहीं होता, एकेडमिक काउंसिल जो भी डिसाइड। तो उन्होंने कहा ओके मैं रेकमेंड कर देता हूँ एकेडमिक काउंसिल मीटिंग के लिए, अगर एकेडमिक काउंसिल में जो फैकल्टीज है उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है और तुम्हारे जो 4 कोर्सेज हैं उन फैकल्टीज को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तो यू कैन गो। मतलब ओके ये 4 फैकल्टीज को तो मैं जानता हूँ। मैं सबके पास गया, सबने अलाउ कर दिया। देन अब एकेडमिक काउंसिल के पास जाना था, उसमें मंजू मैम थी। मैं मंजू मैम के पास गया, बोला कि उन्होंने बोला कि ओके ये एकेडमिक काउंसिल में फैकल्टीज हैं, अगर ये यस कहेंगे। मैं सारे फैकल्टीज के ऑफिस में नॉक कर करके घुस गया कि ऐसी ऐसी सिचुएशंस है एकेडमिक काउंसिल मीटिंग में, ये मीटिंग में एक एजेंडा आएगा, प्लीज सर। और वो सब जानते थे, क्योंकि अब तक मैं सबके दरवाजे नहीं पता कितनी बार खटखटा चुका था, तो सब जानते थे कि ये कौन, मतलब बैड सेंस, गुड सेंस, व्हाटएवर। ऑफ कोर्स इट वाज गुड सेंस फॉर मेनी ऑफ देम। तो उन्होंने कहा ओके 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 हम कर देंगे। फिर मैंने कहा ओके मेजोरिटी तो अब है। तो एक फैकल्टी को छोड़ के मैं सारी फैकल्टी के पास गया। एकेडमिक काउंसिल की मीटिंग हुई, और एकेडमिक काउंसिल की जब मीटिंग हो रही तो मैं बाहर बैठा हुआ था और अंदर से देवनाथ सर देख रहे थे, क्योंकि वो डिपार्टमेंट हेड थे उस टाइम पे। फिर मैं आया तो उन्होंने मजाक में बोला वी डिसअप्रूव्ड इट, गो गो गो, यू डोंट डिजर्व इट। एंड फिर आई न्यू ही वाज जोकिंग, क्योंकि वो तो डेफिनेटली नहीं करते। फिर मैं मंजू मैम के पास गया, मंजू मैम का ओके आयुष वी हैव अप्रूव्ड दिस। एंड फिर मैंने पढ़ा अप्रूवल, तो उसमें लिखा हुआ था कि इफ आयुष सिंस ही इज अ वेरी गुड कैंडिडेट, इफ ही हैज सीजीपीए ऑफ ग्रेटर देन 8.5 he is allowed to go, he just have to come back and give the exams only if faculties of those respective courses। और मेरा सीजीपीए उतना नहीं था, एंड दैट वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम आई रियलाइज्ड कि हाउ इंपॉर्टेंट सीजीपीए इज। सो ये मैं इसलिए बता रहा हूँ कि ऐसा जो कुछ भी कहता है कि सीजीपीए मैटर नहीं करता, इट मैटर्स, क्योंकि ऐसे बहुत सारे सिचुएशंस आएंगे, बहुत कॉम्पिटिटिव इन्वायरमेंट है, जब और कोई फैक्टर नहीं बचा होगा देन टू गो फॉर योर सीजीपीए, एंड देन यू विल रिग्रेट कि यार मैं थोड़ा सा और अच्छे से पढ़ाई करी होती तो शायद मेरा सीजीपीए थोड़ा बेटर होता। और बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशंस आते हैं कॉलेजेस से। अब तो मैं प्रोफेसर हूं तो मेरे पास भी एप्लीकेशंस आते हैं, और मैं भी कहीं ना कहीं एक थोड़ा सा बायस्ड होता हूं। इसलिए नहीं कि वो बंदा इंटेलिजेंट है, एटलीस्ट दैट शोस कि वो बंदा डिसिप्लिन्ड है, या फिर देयर इज सम फैक्टर व्हिच इज वाउचिंग फॉर हिम और हर कि ये बंदा या बंदी अच्छी है। सो बट अगेन 8.5 सीजीपीए नहीं था। मैंने बोला कि मैम मेरा तो 7.5 ही है। तो लेकिन आयुष फिर तो एकेडमिक काउंसिल की मीटिंग करनी पड़, और वो तो 1 महीने से होने वाली नहीं है। मैंने बोला मैम आप ईमेल कर दो एक बार सबको। और मैं फिर सबके दरवाजे पे गया कि सर ऐसा ऐसा हुआ है 7.5। तो मैम ने बोला कि ईमेल पे सब रिस्पॉन्ड करेंगे, एंड दे डिड इट। और ये सारी चीजें सिर्फ 5 दिनों में हुई। फिर मैं दौड़ा एप्लीकेशन लेके सुनी थॉमस मैम के पास गया, बोले लेकर आगे लगता है तुम। एंड देन अगेन वेंट टू द डायरेक्टर सर, और उन्होंने कहा ओके बेस्ट ऑफ लक, गो। सो दिस इज हाउ LNMIIT, आई मीन आई कुड नॉट थिंक कि इसमें एक भी इंसिडेंस। और हाँ, उस फिलिप्स सिस्टर्स लैब का मैं इंपॉर्टेंस बताता हूँ, वहां जाने क्यों मैटर किया। क्योंकि तब तक मैं एक इंसिडेंस मिस कर गया। आई थिंक वी हैव टाइम। एक इंसिडेंस छोटा सा मिस कर गया। मैं जब सेकेंड ईयर में था तो मैं ऐसे कि मैं Y07 के सबके साथ बहुत टच में था। उस टाइम पे जो स्कॉलर्स होते थे LNMIIT के PhD वाले, वो सारे हमारे ही बिल्डिंग में रहते थे, उसी BH में। तो मैं उन लोगों के भी साथ में था। मैं अपने सीनियर से बहुत अच्छा बना के रखता था, क्योंकि मुझे उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिलता था। तो उसमें एक पंकज सहोता सर हैं, जो अभी US में ही हैं, हम लोग काफी बात करते हैं। मैं एक बार मिला भी था उनसे ओकरिज नेशनल लैब में। तो पंकज सर ने बोला, पंकज सर वो बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग थे। उस टाइम पे एक फैकल्टी थी आरती कश्यप मैम, उनके वो PhD स्टूडेंट थे। तो उनको पता था कि मैं थोड़ा बहुत करता हूँ, और वो लोग भी मुझे थोड़ा बहुत गाइड करते थे। उस टाइम पे एक फैकल्टी आए थे स्टोनी ब्रुक यूनिवर्सिटी से ही, आर्टम आर ओगैनो, और वो एक क्लोज रूम मीटिंग कर रहे थे। एक डायरेक्टर ऑफिस के सामने एक मीटिंग हॉल है, वो मतलब हमेशा वहां जाने का मौका नहीं मिलता है। इट्स वेरी प्रिविलेज्ड प्लेस आई वुड से, क्योंकि वो बहुत मतलब फाइन, एवरीथिंग बड़ा फर्निश्ड सा है, अच्छा लगता है वहां। तो आई वेंट, तो वो मीटिंग वहां होनी थी, फैकल्टी और PhD स्कॉलर्स, और उनके बीच में कुछ कोलैबोरेशन की बातें होनी थी। तो मैंने पंकज सर से बोला कि सर मैं भी चलूं क्या? तो लगा कि ओके चलो, क्योंकि बीटेक अलाउड नहीं थे, या फिर शायद लगा हुआ कि बीटेक का क्या ही काम। बट मैं उनके साथ गया, और वो लोग कुछ क्रिस्टल ये सब पे पढ़ रहे थे, और उस टाइम पे हमने 1-1.5 साल पहले IIT का प्रिपरेशन किया था, तो वो केमिस्ट्री की चीजें पता थी, तो उनके 1-2 क्वेश्चंस का आंसर्स मैंने भी किया उस मीटिंग में। फिर ही वाज लाइक ओके, मैंने बोला कि मैं तो बस बैचलर हूँ। फिर पंकज सर गेस्ट हाउस में लेके गया उनसे मिलवाने के लिए, एंड he said कि okay, I'm not looking for intern right now, but there is another colleague of mine जिनका रिसर्च तुम्हारे रिसर्च से मैच करता है, मैं उनका ईमेल आईडी तुम्हें देता हूँ, and I will write to him, तुम उनसे बात कर लेना। एंड एक्चुअली दैट प्रोफेसर हैपेंस टू माय PhD एडवाइजर, क्योंकि मैं उसके बाद उनके टच में रहा, उनके सब प्रोजेक्ट्स वगैरह किया। तो एवरीथिंग टिल PhD व्हाट आई हैव डन, लिटरली एवरीथिंग, क्रेडिट गोज टू LNMIIT। और ये सब मैं बस कहने के लिए नहीं कर रहा हूँ, द स्टोरी इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू कि हाउ एट एवरी स्टेप, ये छोटे छोटे जो कहानियां किस्से हैं, ये सारे किस्से, चाहे वो फैकल्टी हो, रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस हो, या फिर वो सुनी थॉमस मैम हो, देवनाथ सर हो, हर लोगों ने अपने लेवल पे जो कुछ कर सकते थे, बट बस यही था कि मुझे उनके पास जाना था कि मुझे ये चाहिए, प्लीज ऐसा हो सकता है क्या? यू जस्ट हैव टू टेल देम 5 टाइम्स प्लीज 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 प्लीज, और आई एम टेलिंग यू दे विल नॉट से नो इफ दे फाइंड इट जेन्युइन। क्योंकि मुझे नहीं लगता है कि कॉलेज एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन विल बी अ ब्लॉकेज फॉर यू। मैं सुनता हूँ कि अरे अब वो नहीं रहा, जस्ट गो, दिस इज व्हाट आई फील, गो टू देम, बिकॉज उन्हें भी बहुत खुशी होगी जब LNMIIT विल कम ऑन सम मैप कि अरे LNMIIT का ये यहाँ कर रहा है, LNMIIT का वो वहाँ कर रहा है। मेरा एक फ्रेंड था स्टोनी ब्रुक में PhD का, he was from IIIT हैदराबाद, I still remember, and he works with all big people, मुबारक सा and all। तो वो IIIT हैदराबाद, वो पटना से है, तो हम लोग मतलब ऐसी बात करते, अरे वरे कैसा है ये वो, अबे तू LNMIIT से, भाई तुम लोग तो फोड़ते हो। That was his thing, and he was from IIIT हैदराबाद। He literally said that, अबे तुम लोग LNMIIT से हो, अबे तुम लोग तो फोड़ते हो। So this is, LNMIIT is a very good impression, and of course everyone is doing wonder, but this is how LNMIIT has shaped me. Otherwise मेरे लिए तो नहीं था, मैंने कभी लिटरली मैंने कभी नहीं सोचा था कि मैं कभी US में करने जाऊंगा, क्योंकि मुझे पता था वहां मास्टर्स के लिए ये लोन वोन लेना पड़ता है, और वो मेरे बस की थी नहीं। बट अगेन, जैसे मैं सेकेंड ईयर का एक इंसिडेंस था जो 4th ईयर में आके मुझे हेल्प किया कि मैं फुली स्कॉलरशिप पे डायरेक्ट PhD करने चला गया। जो मेरे पेपर्स मैंने पब्लिश किए थे, जो मुझे एक मोटिवेशन मिला, रहे पब्लिश करो, LNMIIT तो पैसे देंगे। लिटरली दिस वाज माय, अरे LNMIIT विल टेक, LNMIIT तो पैसे ले ही लेंगे। सो LNMIIT वाज आवर लाइक कुबेर का खजाना। So I will also say exploit LNMIIT as much as you can in all terms। अभी तो बहुत सारे facilities भी हैं। Sorry राहुल सर, but this is what I can tell to them। They might trouble you कि सर ये परमिशन चाहिए, वर्क परमिशन चाहिए, but I did it।
No, I think you did it very well, and thank you for sharing what your heartfelt experiences have been. For things which are genuine, wherever we have resources, they are always possible to be considered. All that we need is that top quality place for somebody to publish in, quality work, right? And I don't think that for genuine requests there are issues. Anybody who wants to become a scholar, do something new, and there is an evidence of body of work, I think we all would love to support in those cases.
That's great. So LNMIIT folks, you have heard your director has said something. So just go. If you find something is helpful for you, just go to him. And yeah, this is the journey I had. And then I came here, did my master's, PhD. After PhD, I got to work for postdoc, and my research was quite good with Brookhaven National Lab in Stony Brook and Brookhaven National Lab. So then I got to retain my position in Stony Brook University as research assistant professor. And now, and one more thing is like we keep here also, as I said, I cannot share my work, what I do with AT&T Labs, because they have very strict policy of the things I can share or not. But definitely the works that I'm doing with at Stony Brook and Harvard Medical School, which is mostly related to the advancement of visually impaired people on designing technology and all. You are most welcome. अगर किसी के पास भी कोई experience है of the things that I work on, or just let me know the things you work on. If we find something common, we could definitely figure out something. Let's work together. I would be happy to take few students from LNMIIT to work with me and my collaborators here on the projects that I'm working on.
That's indeed wonderful. I was only wondering whether informally we could initiate a parallel dialogue between you and me and find out whether we could establish a collaborative opportunity for research internship for some of our students.
Mm-hmm.
We could later on try and build even exchange programs, but to begin with, at least at an individual level, will be simplest to do. So if that is possible, we would love it.
Definitely. I won't promise anything because I am really at the bottom level of the chain, those who decide all these things. But whatever will be in my hand and my lab's hand, we would definitely be willing to do something.
Right. Because not everything might involve money to begin with. For example, it is possible to have a collaboration with somebody on campus as a faculty member and a colleague, a set of students, right? And still there could be a global project which might have partners from different places, and interested, well-prepared students might still benefit from that. They might learn a few things.
Definitely. Actually, 2 years back, I did one such collaboration with Subrat Das sir, and there was a faculty from University of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. And we together guided BTP projects, 2 BTP projects. And I'm happy to say one of the BTP one of our project was the best BTP project. It was awarded best BTP project. So yeah, we did last year with Subrat Das sir, but I never got chance. I mean, as I said, whatever I am today, and it's not only me, my parents, my father, कि LNMIIT में जाना अच्छा decision था. These are his words. LNMIIT में जाना अच्छा decision था. तो
Ayush, that reminds me. I do not know whether you had an opportunity to go through my mail to Alumni, recent one of them. We are establishing one of the world-class research facilities in artificial intelligence and multiple applications in different areas, right from communication to health tech, etc., etc. I do see an opportunity. If you have some ideas that you would want us to take a look at, we would very much welcome, because as one of the starting points, we are signing up very soon with even SMS Medical College and Hospital Jaipur to have a collaborative research and development work in health tech area, apart from reaching out to some institutions around the world. So since you are already working in the domain, if there is something at the intersection of AI, machine learning, say computer vision, health tech, whatever comes, probably you and Swathi, both of you, I do see having some overlap. We even have a Center for Next Generation Communication Networking, which is now a part of our Research, Innovation and Entrepreneurship Park. So we're kind of trying to build. So I would be very happy if there is a possibility of at least exploration to begin with. It could take some time before it crystallizes. And we could even invite you in one of the adjunct positions for spending a few days whenever you are in India, and with us in case you have some time to spare.
No, actually, I'm always open to Rahul sir. I mean, that's the one thing I told. I mean, Yogi sir already knows a lot about me. So he was kind enough to only highlight good things, but he suppressed all the not bad thing, but more like notorious things I did at LNMIIT. So I owe a lot, and I could never say no to LNMIIT, and I said the same thing to Manju ma'am also last time. So please let me know. And of course there is. So I will highlight how it goes is, first, so this is how I did it with Stony Brook also when I came here. So I first had few students, we worked together, we had some results, and then I had a talk I scheduled from my own lab, and I invited them, okay, now talk what all you have done. And then they felt like, okay, these students are doing good, and then they come on the board. So this is the one step. As I said, Tomar sir ki why should we take you, or why should I send you, what you have done? So that is more like, so we can definitely start something informally, but yeah, that will be definitely involving my lab mates here, my mentor, and he's a Chinese national, and he has lots of students working from China. So that's what my thought, why not to have someone from India too. So I have currently working 3 students working from IIT Delhi, and 2 students are working from NIT Trichy. But again, LNMIIT, I can never say no to the good students from LNMIIT. So there is no question. We can definitely, yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And आपके इन छोटे छोटे एक्सपीरियंसेस ने हमारे ऊपर बहुत बड़ा बड़ा इम्पैक्ट क्रिएट किया है अभी. So thank you for sharing that. And now it is the time. Actually, we are almost, the time is over, but we'll take a few questions. So I request everyone to ask questions right now in the chat box, and we'll try to take them.
Swathi, may I ask a question of near identical nature to you? If you are
Yes,
still
sir.
there.
Sure. Yes,
See,
sir.
I did notice that couple of years back, there was an Indian delegation that did visit your lab at Berkeley, and it actually did mention in one of the video interviews about you. I do not know whether you are aware of that or not. So,
Oh, I'm aware, sir.
okay. Somebody pointed that material to me, so I had an opportunity to see that. So what I wanted to ask you was that, let's see, having been kind of working at the intersection of, say, optical communication and certain other areas, and even in biomed to some extent, you might have got certain exposure to some of the areas in which you would like to advise. Maybe we have about 12 virtual centers, some of which have been converted by now to physical centers over the last few years, and more would get over next 2 years. Many of them would get converted into physical centers. A few more will come up. But the point is, everywhere we do need infusion of new ideas, places where some initial resources would be available for students and probably some scholars who are doing their own PhD or PDF, etc., for initial consultation, etc. Would you be open if we invite you to one of these centers, nucleus members, as one of the alumni members over there? I could do a similar thing, say, for Ayush, in case he has time and interest in another area of his work.
Yes, sir, sure, definitely. I would be more than happy and to be a part of that group. And I consider myself honored if I will be a part of that group. So I have like definitely a lot to give back to LNMIIT. I am here all because of what was offered to me during the time I was there at LNMIIT. So in any way, any of my experiences can help.
Wonderful. I appreciate that. Squadron Leader Teja, if I could call you that, you are there still?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
I liked one of the things you said, that visit by some people from Indian Army and their address to students did create an interest in joining one of the Triforce elements there in you. I was wondering whether at some point in time, whenever you deem appropriate and we find an opportunity, whether we could invite you either for an in-person when the institute actually kind of pandemic allows us to do that, or probably any other way, maybe a hybrid way of communication, through which you, along with some other people who you suggest us to invite from the Triforces, we could invite them.
Sir, Jaipur itself has an Air Force station.
Yes.
There's an Air Force station in Jaipur, and there's a large corps that is there available of the Indian Army. So the address by them would be as looking at towards the career in the tri-services. So that can be possible whenever there is a chance, but the online conduct is also great. Maybe if the university intends, I would give contacts where you can invite the officers from the Air Force Station Jaipur, or maybe from the Army.
Right, that will be a good starting point. That's the reason I just thought to pick up from each one of what you told about, to see where we can learn and probably take it forward. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Ayush, I have one question. Very wonderfully, you talked about everything. Very live, your live experiences. The 2 points that I note from your 4 years stay over here. One thing is you were benefited largely by your seniors. So that is one thing I think every student needs to know, that how to get good seniors or good alumni, whatever, and their guidance. So that is one point that is very important. The second point, which is important from your talk, that you have a passion for research, and you kept that passion alive. And for that, perseverance, your patience and perseverance throughout, that actually is a great quality that you have. So we need to persevere everything.
Yes,
For
yes, definitely. Actually, that's the one point I thought, I think I missed it out. Actually, it's a limited time. And one thing, academicians are good at talking. So one thing is that patience thing. So there will be an opportunity. There are two type of goals: short-term goals, long-term goals. You have to decide what you want to do. Short-term goals are always very, I mean, it will very attractive. तुम्हें लगा अरे ये तो कल ही कुछ हो जाएगा. But वो कितना अच्छा होगा, that depends. But so you have to have some patience in research. That's the one thing. You won't get result in 1 month, 2 months. It
Exactly.
might be you won't get result in 6 months, even in 1 year. And I was lucky to get papers because my first paper was as a second author, because my senior had a role. They guided me literally. I published my first paper in second year end, first author, first paper in second year end, जिसके बारे में that visa got rejected, and I had to manage the money because I was the first author. So that's how it pumped up. So in research, or not only research, a good project also, it takes time, because if we already know the result, then why we are working on it? So it's very important to have some patience, and that's why I would suggest either start at second year end. Third year is the best time, but there is no good time to start. You can start in the first year too, but there are a lot of other things to learn. To first year people, just enjoy everything, right from LTs to OATs. I mean, I used to dance even on ghazals in during DJ night or Vivacity. So just enjoy everything, matki ford, everything. Just do everything, because you are not going to get this fourth year. And I literally say this, you are not going to get this 4 years back. So just enjoy each and everything. Swathi boss ki baatein mano, class jaya karo, that shows discipline, and get good CGPA, because that's again very important if you are planning for higher education for sure. And discipline, I think DVM sir, he already told you all about discipline. So I was not that much disciplined. I was just passionate about the research. So दिन भर पूरी मटर गश्ती at the चाय point, हमारा जो वो दो बीच में जो प्लेस होता था, वहां सब मिलेंगे, गप्पे करेंगे, जूनियर सीनियर्स सबसे गप्पे, और रात में फिर पढ़ाई करो. सुबह क्लासेस भी नहीं जाता था, which I regret, but again, don't repeat those mistakes. Rest everything, just enjoy to the fullest. College life is like awesomest thing that could happen to you.
Very nice. The students are asking that other than research, suppose say if someone is not interested that much in research, anything else that you would like to tell them, first year and second year students? Yeah, just do a good project. I mean, research is maybe very overrated thing. Do a good project, because that project will not only help you in getting masters or PhD, but also help you get a job. These days, I mean, all these big startups, they need people who have some experience on projects. So that's what I do when I select master students to work with me on CSE. So Stony Brook has a master's 6 credit course, 3 credit in one semester, a CSE 523, 524. So when I selected students for to do 523, 524 under me, I always look at the projects, what they did. So projects are very important, and even for companies these days, because in interview, other than everyone does coding, what makes you different from others? So the projects that you have done. So it doesn't have to be a research project. It doesn't have to be a publication. A good project will add a lot of value, because that's where you learn the most. So do a good project if you're not interested in research.
Yeah, and definitely like apply for internships at different places. That will be helpful in if you want to go for a job or for research, both ways. So internships I would recommend like second year, third year, fourth year, like do some research work or internship and projects, as Dr. Ayush said. So that is very important.
That's wonderful to hear coming from both of you that way. You students who are younger probably would know now, but they may not be aware of that opportunity, that now we not only have 4 officially usable research internship slots, whether they are for research internship, industrial internship, entrepreneurial internship, etc. But if they do, this could be of 2 months in the summer or semester-long internship later, and they can even earn credits through that. We have made those provisions.
Great.
That entrepreneur thing that you said, sir, actually, so that's another thing that students should look into, because that's one of the finest thing. And believe me, it's very easy once you are. I also did when I was there, but it failed. Maybe Niyogi sir, no, I started a SRIG research interest group. Then we wanted to convert into a company, but then I went for higher studies. But this is another thing, because again, if you go out in the world, it's going to be very competitive. There will be very limited resources. There will be a lot of people to claim. So again, that's a very good thing. And all these things, if I could be of any help, I'll be more than happy. If you have something, and I think I and Rahul sir will be talking later too. So if there was something very common, we would be like more officially, we could do something.
Sure. That would be wonderful. Actually, for the students who are there, they might probably know that they can put their degree on pause anytime during their 4 years of BTech, or even MTech at any point in time with prior intimation. If they have a good plan, either for entrepreneurial journey, say they want to set up a startup, or they want to go spend 1 year abroad for a research project in a lab, right? Or do one of those things, it is possible to put a degree on pause, and you don't pay a single rupee to institute while your degree is on pause. And you can go chase your dream, come back, continue your program.
That's really, actually, that's a really good move. Students should definitely utilize, especially, again, I would say especially third year students. They should definitely do something third year, fourth year. I don't know if any of them are here or not, but they should definitely do. And especially healthcare. So I have closely worked with a lot of healthcare professionals. And this is one of the things where the whole AI thing is moving very fast, and still they don't have a very viable solution. So if there is something you could do, or you have something in your mind, you're most welcome to, talk to me or Swathi boss, and then we could figure it out. Because that's the one thing I really look forward to, the healthcare, AI meeting the healthcare. And that's one of the hottest thing in US too.
I think there are a large number of questions. The students, they have a lot of questions, but the time is short, because I'm really very much grateful to our director, sir, because he is very busy. His schedule is very hectic, and he has given a lot of time. Maybe I will request Naman to share some questions, to take up some questions, and after that, maybe we can have another discussion on some other day, because
Yes,
it is
sir.
getting late. So Naman, please, if you can take some few questions.
Yes, sir. Sure. So Sarthak is asking to Teja sir that how did you imagine military life before you joined, and how did your perception changed after serving?
Okay, I have yes, I'm audible, I suppose. I have seen the question. It's completely reversed. In the civil world, the priority is ourselves, then our family, then our surroundings, then our neighborhood. Maybe after that, there is some energy, then to your own village, town, and city and nation. I will not do it. I will not tell that it's prevalent to all people, but majority is like that. But in the armed forces, it's completely reversed. It's first the nation, and then your team, your own fraternity, being more selfless, and your family will be the last but one, and you yourself will be the last. So to cater for your needs, the organization will do most of the things. It will cater for your quarters. It will cater for all the amenities that you can imagine. Maybe the well secured campus, all concessed prices in whatever you buy in your life. So the organization will take care of your family, including the education of children and the health of the parents. It's only that you have to dedicate all your thought and life for the nation in a different form. So the perspective is completely reversed. And what I would suggest is we have not discussed things about marriage, love, and other things in this lecture. But what I feel is after graduation, if your parents suggest you to get married to somebody, maybe boy or a girl, if you don't have any choice, respect your parents, get married soon, so that you live a complete life. Like in life, there are 4 stages. One is brahmacharya, gruhastha, vanaprastha, and then moksha or something like that. So all the life is dependent on gruhastha, means the family, or what we pray as Lord Vishnu. The family is the core part of the complete livelihood. So try to get married as early as possible, so that you don't have deviations like love and other things. So I wanted to mention it maybe in the talk, but because it's question answer session, I was a little informal. And I hope people should make an opportunity to study and prepare for civil services as well. Maybe for various ministries that are there available in the government of India, because India is progressing a lot, and we educated people should be in good positions. In good positions, we may not be able to do research, or we may be able to do, but you have to be in a position where you can do administration, you can make a policy, you can uplift a section of the people who look forward for help. So you must, as engineers, reach good places and be in various positions of influence in your lifetime. That's my answer.
Thank you, sir. There is one question for Swathi Bose and Ayush, sir. How did you get ideas for your research?
So I would say, like, first of all, look at any problem. So research is not like कि एकदम से idea आ गया. It's like you look at a problem, आपके surrounding में कुछ भी हो रहा है. अगर आपको लगता है हम इसको किसी तरह से improve कर सकते हैं या उस चीज में कोई कमी है, तो एकदम वहीं पे आपको idea आ जाता है कि अच्छा, this is the problem we need to solve. So currently, जैसे we are working with medical industry, and so we talk to the doctors, and then they tell us, okay, this is the problem they are facing, and we as engineers, then we come up with a solution. So it's like getting in touch with professionals who are already working in the area, and then that also gives us the ideas. Other thing is, as Ayush mentioned, like contacting the seniors or the researchers जो like currently अभी LNMIIT में है, तो you can contact them कि currently क्या research work चल रहा है. जरूरी नहीं है you have to come up with some research idea of your own. You can join their existing research and be a part of it, and then eventually you come up with your own ideas when you start working on something.
Okay, thank you, boss. Sir, do you want to add something?
No, I mean, see, I think she included everything. It won't happen over a day. Either you first listen to people, just do what they want to say, and the more you are into it, then you will start getting idea, okay, this could be done, this could be done. And of course, there are some situations when you get an inner calling that, okay, the things that are happening around you, maybe I could solve that. So, but this is, again, it's not a one-day process. It's a very stage-wise process, and it will take time. We also were very, and Yogi sir also said, at that time I also said, you need to have some patience. It comes with time. It won't happen overnight.
Okay, thank you, sir. Another question to Teja sir. What are the fields in the army where engineers can work?
Yes, the armed forces are full of technology, especially compared to the Army and Navy, Air Force is technologically very much advanced. Like I have done graduation in computers communication. They have trained me in aeronautical engineering, mechanical engineering, and to a perspective of civil engineering. Most of the branches that are there available in engineering are touched upon, because the most important part in aviation is to land safely. So takeoff is there, yes, it's one important aspect, but to land back safe with all the features that you have taken back, especially the aircrafts which are 1,000 crores and above, that are very much from the pockets of the government. So all the technology that one can imagine is always tested first in the military scenario, and thereafter is opened in the commercial scenario. So all engineering that you learn is available there in armed forces, and best of the technology, whether it's networking, aviation, or mechanical, or maybe even the civil engineering is there available, because for construction of a runway, there is a lot of thought and deep research that needs to be done. And the most beautiful part is you try to get to see and experience varied terrains and all the geographical areas that are possible on the earth, because the armed forces is now collaborating with most of the nations, and we are respected all over the world. And you get to associate with most of the other price services that are there in the world, including the US Air Force, Australia, Japan, or Israel, or many other nations. So it's a complete different environment to experience technology in a different perspective. So whatever you can imagine, it is there available in the price services.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. There are a lot more questions, but many of them are already answered during the talk itself. So, Niyogi sir, I think we can conclude.
Yeah, I think we can conclude, yes. Because
And yes, if you have any other specific question for our speakers, you can always contact them through LinkedIn or through email. They will be more than happy to reply to you and solve your queries.
yeah, actually the contact address, that is the email ID, we will be providing in that that speaker address, speaker details actually. All right. So I will be circulating to that, and I think anybody can write and contact all the alumni. That will be good. So let us conclude, and let us thank our speakers. All the 3 alumni, they got up, especially those who are in USA. They got up early in the morning, and at 8:30 or 8 or 7, whatever. So it was a really enlightening experience listening to the experience of each one of them. And I think we have to have a constant connection and contact with you all, so that our students can know what are the tips and tricks, and if they are interested in a particular research or going for the army or whatever it is, they can contact you. So that contact address is very important, mainly the email address. So thank you once again. Thank you very much, Ayush, Swathi, and DVM. It was really nice listening to you.
I have a thing to add, sir. Just and maybe Swathi boss is the right example. So I was going through all the comments, and I don't know. I didn't see a single comment from the names. It's supposed from a girl candidate. So yeah, so that's not a very good sign. So maybe they should come up. And why? Because I'm very passionate for this thing. When I was chairman of IEEE student branch, at that time I started women in engineering branch.
Yes.
So and let me tell you, there are lots of opportunities, especially for girls. Not even in US, they have a separate placement drives. Even in US, they have a separate conference where they get to get. So it's very important to have that empowered thing. So it would be it would be good to have the questions from what do you, Swathi boss? Look at her; she's a senior among all of us. At least she could have given some inspiration to all the girl candidates that what a girl
Yes.
can do too.
Anyway, we
Yeah,
have
and
recorded. Yes, we have recorded.
yeah, actually, yes, sir, go ahead.
No, we have recorded the whole lecture and we will upload in the YouTube. And those who have missed, I think around 200 students were there. But it's a good number. 200 means online, 200 is a good number. Usually attendance is very poor. So at least today the number is good. And yeah, so we will upload it in YouTube. And those who have missed because of some reason, they can look back and contact you also. Yes, you wanted to say something, please, Swathi.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for, and I support women empowerment, and I support as many girls and women. Definitely, it doesn't mean that I'm not empowering, talking for boys, but definitely I'm also part of Women Society of Women in Engineering here in my institute, and would love to have more girls in this field. Since I got chance to speak quickly, I want to say that to all the students, what I see here in US universities is like most of the undergraduate students, they are actually affiliated to one or the other professor's research lab, so right from the undergraduate, so they get a lot of experience. So I urge all of you to be a part of one or the other research groups, anything which you like in LNMIIT, contact those professors and start working on some project. Doesn't matter you are interested in research or not, or it will help you in figuring out like what your interests are. But go ahead and do something in this area apart from your academics. Thanks.
Good, very nice.
Sir, if I'm permitted, I'll conclude by saying to all that who have attended or maybe who will attend later the recorded version, alumni is the strong thing that a university can flourish in all perspectives. So whether you graduate online courses or maybe offline courses in the conference, be a part of alumni, whether this is LNMIIT University or your own school or your own place or people. You have to be an active part in wherever you had passed through or experienced. So you must be an alumni later on. So you must contribute the same way the professors now are contributing even after their retirement age. Thank you all and all the very best, and Jai Hind.
Thank you very much. We can have more sessions with you again.
Right, sir. I am always welcome.
Sure. More of interaction sessions, interactive. Thank you very much once again to each one of you.
Thank you,
sir.
It was
Thank you,
nice
sir, and thank you,
talking
boss.
and sharing things.
Yes.
Okay, and thank you to all the participants who joined
Yes.
us today. It is a Sunday evening. You might have other plans, but you chose to come here and listen to
Yes.
us. So thank you so much for joining. And
Thank you for inviting us. And thanks to all the listeners.
Yes.
I really appreciate
All
your
the
time.
students and participants. Yes. Thanks to all of them.
Yeah, thank you. And let me know if I could be of any help to all of you. It might not be possible to reply if there are so many emails, but we'll try our best and let's see how things go. If something comes up as a collaboration, we'll be seeing again.
Thank you all. Thank you very much, especially to the director who had this vision to encompass all alumni and make it a stronger fraternity in times to come. All the best, LNMIIT, and all the best to all your families. Happy 2022.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amit sir, CWPH, and Director sir for organizing and bringing all of us together. And I'm more than happy to help anyone. If anyone has any questions regarding anything, feel free to reach out to me.
So because of some emergency, Professor Singh, AP Singh, he couldn't join today. So I just rang him sometime before, and some emergency came and he couldn't join. So
please send our regards to him. Really miss him.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Sure. Okay, thank you very much,
sir. Thank you so much. We missed your mithais. Maybe
Yes, for that,
virtual
you
talks.
come to LNMIIT once again.
No, definitely. I will
Yes.
come with my wife. That's our next.
Sure.
Definitely.
Sure. Thank you, Ayush.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.